Hello and welcome back, fellow viewers and players, to the Havoc of Erisia campaign. Our last episode got recognized by Crafty GG, and he even gave us a shout out. Godspeed to you, you glorious bearded mad lad. Along with this, we reached over 200 subscribers. It feels pretty unreal just saying that. Anyways, would anyone like to recap what happened in session 1?
I took notes of last session, so I believe I have the best understanding of the course of the episode.
Nerd alert.
I'll take that as a compliment, you Blue Eater.
Whatever.
Anyways, last episode, Lionel, Trump's character, and Basil, my character, started off on a boat. Lionel got chewed out by the captain for being a prick, and also fell into the water like a Looney Tunes character when we were trying to jump off the boat.
Fake news. I jumped gracefully like a gazelle.
Like a gazelle with no legs and eyes, maybe? Anyways, on the shore, we met Jackdaw, who is Joe's character. He's some wise samurai guy, and I feel like Trump's weeb-ass might have influenced Biden's character choice somehow. After that, we climbed a wall and had a nice walk. We then encountered some bandit schmucks who tried to kill and rob us. I turned one of the bandits into a fine red mist, but both Lionel and I still almost died. Jackdaw locked in and kind of carried us.
No need to thank me, Benny boy.
After that encounter, I forced Lionel to interrogate the leader, and we now know that we're about to get jumped by more bandits if we stay here for too long. We also found a treasure chest, but it's locked. I made 2 potions with my special cauldron, one which adds bleed damage to attacks, and another one which regenerates health. We also got to level up last session, which gives us a new mantra and talent. I'll allow Joe to start first.
Alrighty. On my level up, I gained +4 hit points from my hit dice and a new talent called Wind Step. When climbing, I can summon a small cloud which boosts me and others upwards. When used in combat, I can use it as a reaction to jump away from an attack once per short rest. However, I'll have to make a contested dexterity check against my target. My mantra is a fun little move called Gale Trap. I can throw out an invisible rune on a tile, and if someone steps on it, they become suffocated, meaning that they can't use any sorts of elemental mantras for a turn. They also take 1d4 plus 2 damage from it, which isn't that much, but I can throw this out as a bonus action, which is really good.
All right, who's next?
That'll be me. The dice gods were goated, and I got 10 hit points from my hit dice. My new ability is Produce Spark, which can replace torches, and can also be used in combat in order to set fire to enemies as a bonus action for 3 turns. I can only use this once per encounter. My mantra is basically a flashbang. It's called Flare Snap. I snap my fingers and send out a blazing orb of light, which blinds anything in a cone in front of me. Enemies that are blinded have a disadvantage on hit rolls for 2 turns, and also have a -2 in their AC for 2 turns. Now on to the chipmunk.
Suck my nards. Anyways, my hit dice gave me a very useful +7 hit points, which I definitely need. My mantra is a ranged move called Lightning Beam. I shoot a beam of electric energy which can bounce between enemies. It has a total range of 30 feet and deals 1d6 plus 1 damage to each enemy hit. I figured this would be really good for swarm encounters. I picked the talent Placebo Effect, which allows me to share the effects of a potion with one ally in melee range with a cooldown of 2 turns. For the sake of argument, I could drink my regeneration potion and share it with Joe if he's getting low and we both gain health. I believe that's all for us.
Then, let us begin. You awaken from your long rest and find yourself at a dying campfire. You've all spent this rest doing various activities such as exercises or studying. The once roaring embers are now calm in the derelict building you find yourselves in. The sun is set over the horizon, and now the moon shall claim dominion over the sky. The smell of ash and dried fruit permeate throughout the air, bringing calmness to all.
Alas, now is not the time to relax. The bandit lords might investigate earlier than expected, so it's best if we move.
Absolutely, but what should we do with the treasure chest? Should we just carry it around?
How about we bury it, like pirates do?
Honestly, that could work, but we're gonna have to conceal it really well. Barack, how much does this chest weigh?
About 10 pounds. It's not too big either.
Then we can just carry it in our inventories instead. I can carry it if you want.
Works for me, but I better get my share, Snakeman.
Worry not. We will share all of our wealth equally.
You're starting to sound like one of those Ignition Union lackeys now with all this equal wealth stuff.
Wait, are the Ignition Union communists?
Do I have to roll a history check? I technically should already know what they are, considering they are the Summer Company's arch nemesis.
Yeah, no rolls necessary here. The Ignition Union are basically steampunk communists. They alone utilize an attunement called Iron Sing, which is very useful in industries. They stand completely against the Summer Company, which is basically the epitome of capitalism.
As you can see, I picked the most American faction possible.
America, fuck yeah.
So do you want your share or not, Lionel?
Yeah, of course. Was just joking around.
Then let me carry it in my bag and let's move.
But to where?
We could go into that cave we saw earlier, or we could take the other way at the marble staircase.
The way we took was a shortcut. I don't think we'll discover much taking the long way. We should check out that cave first, or unless Lionel is still scared.
I already told you. I ain't scared, I'm just cautious.
Then to the cave it is.
You begin walking back to the entrance of Erisia, wandering past the beautiful sights of the ocean and the shortcuts alike. The trek is, for the most part, uneventful. However, close to the first wall you climbed, you hear an aloof noise. The sound of steel being rubbed against bone, and an unsettling noise which resembles chewing. The exact location of the noise is unknown.
Could I roll a nature check to determine what the hell that is?
Go ahead.
That's a 14.
You have an idea of what it could be. Considering the time of the day, it could be nocturnal. The sound of bone against steel and the chewing means it is possibly eating a human with metal armor. These clues lead you to believe that it's either a pteropod, Megalodon, or a mud skipper.
A mud skipper? Like the fish with lungs?
Not quite.
Honestly, I'm not taking any gambles. If it's strong enough to kill a human with metal armor, then it could probably take us down too.
What? Are you scared of a man-eating beast? Don't be ridiculous.
Lionel, that is possibly the most stupid thing I've heard you say today.
Whatever it is, we should leave it alone. It's not bothering us, so we shouldn't bother it either. It's the circle of life, after all.
Fine, whatever. Y'all are cowards.
As you make your way down the wall without any issue, you find the cave once more. You see no light sources inside of it, meaning no humans have found respite here.
I can make light with my produce spark talent, and Jackdaw has night vision. We should be set and ready to go.
I have an idea. What if Lionel sets fire to a stick, like a makeshift torch or something of the likes, and throws it into the cave?
Would setting fire to a stick really help that much?
Lots of animals are scared of fire, so we could toss it in there and hear if anything moves away.
Not bad. All right, I'll grab a stick, set fire to it, and then lob it in. Natural one. How did I not find a single stick inside of an entire forest? I got 12 for athletics, but it doesn't even matter.
Honestly, I'm at a loss for words.
Ha ha ha. That's pretty hilarious, not gonna lie.
I mean, I could look for the stick instead.
Nope, I'm so done. We're just walking in, heads first. I'll activate my produce spark ability and tread into the cave.
The party strides into the somber cavern. Your shadows are cast on the walls as the faint spark of Lionel's flame lights a path into the cave. You feel as though the cavern is getting more and more narrow, barely 20 feet from wall to wall. The air is uncomfortably humid, and the smell is vile. The stench of ammonia comes to mind. The markings on the stone signify that the cave is rich in iron, yet there is no infrastructure for prospecting. Clearly, no man has dared to extract resources from this place.
Maybe they don't dare to excavate here because it reeks of piss. I get them summer company employees have standards. I wouldn't want to condemn my fellow workers to mine iron in a cave that smells this foul.
Perhaps you should lower your voice, Lionel. There could be creatures which lurk for us in the dark.
I'd like to see those sunlight-deprived chumps try. One look into my flame and their eyes would burn.
You should really try to become more humble. Courteousness is a virtue, after all.
And you should try to stop sticking your nose into my business.
The sound of an odd shuffling is heard, and small pieces of gravel and small stones fall from above. In front of you, you notice a pale body leaned against the wall. Its body is a faded blue, and there seems to be corals growing from its head.
I walk towards it and give it a nudge with my foot to see if it's alive.
Lionel, what the hell are you doing? Are you trying to get us killed?
Killed by what, dear boy? Snake Eyes would have noticed any dangers with his dark vision. We're fine. I just want to see if this thing is alive or not.
Lionel taps the body with the tip of his boot gently, and nothing happens.
See? Nothing to be scared. Jesus Christ.
I fucking told you.
The body jitters and stumbles. It finally finds a foothold, and it stares at you with its non-existent eyes. It slobbers and strings of drool seep out of its mouth. A low growl is produced, reminding you of the sound of gargling water.
What the hell is that thing?
Roll for Arcana.
Hey, that's a 17.
You recognize this creature almost immediately. This is a mud skipper, commonly referred to as groaners. They are decomposing corpses revived by the carnage of the depths. Victims of drownings are often brought back to life as these thoughtless husks, which explains the constant gurgling noise they produce when conscious. They use this noise to communicate with other mud skippers.
Wait, so when it woke up, it made a scream and then gurgled? Shit! It's calling for backup, isn't it?
The sounds of several creatures clawing their way out of the ground invade the cavern. Indeed, the low growl was a call for help. About 8 mud skippers now have their attention on you, and they look hungry.
God damn it, Lionel.
Roll for initiative.
Ah, man, an 8.
17 from me.
That's a 14.
Hey, Lionel, how about you try to bribe the mud skippers into not attacking us? You know, like you did with the bandits?
Even if I did, those brainless idiots would spend all that money on shitty stocks with no growth value. As a proud businessman, I would never allow my money to be wasted on useless stuff like that.
That's stupid. They wouldn't know how to buy stocks in the first place.
Congrats, Jackdaw, you got the joke. Do you want a medal?
Suck a fat one.
I'll group the mud skippers into 2 groups, since rolling for all of them individually would be a hassle. 16 and 9. It looks like Basil is going to start this fight.
That's right, and I'm very glad I picked this new mantra. I cast Lightning Beam on the mud skipper, which is closest to us. 17 to hit. 6 damage to each of them.
Damn, that's 4 down if you take the optimal path. How do you want to do it?
I clasp both of my hands together, and as I pull them apart, a wild arc of lightning swirls in my palms. I close my eyes and clap with force, sending a literal thunderclap towards the mud skipper closest to me. The mud skipper turns into ash in a relentless lightning bolt ricochet, annihilating the 3 others in its path.
Nicely done, Basil.
Save your compliments for later. They're about to attack us now.
Indeed. The second group groans and rushes forwards, intending to swarm you. 3 of the mud skippers tried attacking, but missed, either due to sheer incompetence or simply being too slow. However, one mud skipper rolled a 19 to hit. It leaps onto Jackdaw from above and bites into his shoulder, dealing 4 damage, and he knocks you 5 feet back.
Why didn't you use your reaction to jump away?
Oh, that's right. I do have that ability. Well, it would have been a waste anyways. These guys seem really weak.
Well, now it's time for me to clean this house, for real this time. I grab my flintlock and fire at the one north of me. Does a 10 land?
It does. Now roll for damage.
11. That's maximum damage. It might be a bit overkill, considering they have 6 HP or less.
Well, it definitely does overkill. Your well-aimed flintlock shot obliterates the skull of the mud skipper, spraying little bits of it over the floor and nearby walls.
And for my bonus action, I want to set fire to the one on the right of me with my Produce Spark talent.
All right, roll to hit with proficiency bonus.
Dang. That's a 9.
It will take 1d4 fire damage for 3 turns.
Never mind. These guys are weak as hell.
My turn now. I want to slice the groaner that attacked me with my katana. 23 to hit, and, well, that ain't good. Only 3 damage.
You swing with perfect precision, but you miscalculated your distance, and your cut was simply too shallow. The mud skipper spills its purple blood on the floor and roars weakly at you. It's now Basil's turn.
I use Volt Warp to teleport to kill the one that tried to attack me first. That's 14 to hit and 7 damage.
That kills it. Your Volt Warp fries the feeble-minded mud skipper, and it collapses on the floor, smoking from the shock.
And I'll use the remainder of my movement in order to slay the one that Lionel set on fire. 16 to hit and 12 damage, which kills it.
Easily so. You rush past Lionel and cleave the clueless mud skipper in 2.
That's 6 groaners down.
Don't get too full of yourself, Basil. We all get a little lucky from time to time.
Perhaps you should take your own advice sometime, Lionel. Clearly you have some double standards.
Yeah, whatever. I'll move and kill the one that Jackdaw couldn't with my flintlock. Easiest nat 20 of my life. And of course, dog shit damage, which is also a 3.
That kills it. How do you want to do it?
I'll spin my flintlock, Wild West style, and shoot it right in the heart, dropping it dead.
Simple and nice. Combat is over. On one of the mud skippers, one which Basil electrocuted, you spot a ring made out of silver, still intact and beautiful. There seems to be a small dark jewel on the tip.
Okay, no one should put that on. We've all seen Lord of the Rings, right?
Why not inspect it to see whether it's cursed or not?
Fair, I'll try to inspect it.
Roll for Arcana. You recognize it as a purifying ring, and one which has been used for a long time. The ring allows the wearer to purify and drink swampy and salty waters with no side effects. However, the jewel on the ring will grow darker and darker until it shatters. And after that, it cannot be used anymore.
Well, that's pretty neat. I'll keep that on me for now.
So do we continue now?
Actually, let me make a perception check.
For what?
There could be more of those groaners in hiding. So I want to see if I can find any more.
Makes sense. Roll for perception.
Natural 20. And it becomes a 24 with my modifiers.
Well, I'll be damned. As Jackdaw looks around the cavern one last time, he spots a shadow on the ceiling, different from the rest. A pair of white eyes analyze Jackdaw, and once Jackdaw's eyes lock onto the shadow, the white eyes become narrow. The shadow drops down from the ceiling and lands in a battle-ready pose. The shape is undeniable. It is a humanoid creature with the face of an octopus. Its skin is almost pitch black, with highlights of beige on its torso and palms. The creature cracks its neck twice and is radiating a menacing energy none of you have seen before. It scratches its face tentacles and speaks.
A Grammar, a Kana, and an Etrian walk into a cave. Sounds like the beginning of a joke, but I believe there is no joking around here. Pale Snake, you wanted to challenge me, so come at me.
What? I didn't mean to challenge you. I was just looking around and we made eye contact by accident.
The octopus man doesn't have pupils, yet you can still see him roll his eyes.
Really now? Bah, of course, coward. That's what they all say. If you make eye contact with me, it means we fight. Those are the rules.
Barack, could I possibly win if I fought him?
I'm going to be honest. He is going to turn your insides into outsides in less than 2 turns.
What? So I just die now?
Step aside, let me cook.
Lionel, you can't defeat him either. What are you doing?
You've got to think outside the box, Jackdaw. Watch me.
The Kanor steps up to protect his cowardly friend. Very admirable.
Yo, Octoman. What's your name?
The creature looks almost surprised, which then turns into delight. His face tentacles are bouncing with joy.
Well, that's a new one. For the first time, someone actually tries to get to know me. Usually all they can say is, stop killing me, and what did I do to deserve this? Very well, Kanor. My name is Squibhouse, but you may call me Squibbo. May I inquire about yours?
They call me Scarson, Lionel Scarson. Well then, Squibbo, I challenge you to a dance-off.
Haha, wonderful. Although I must admit I am a bit rusty. I haven't used this dance move since the rumbling era of 1297.
Squibbo starts breaking it down and is doing the windmill. He is, in fact, windmilling so hard, he is generating a small tornado inside of the cavern, picking up dust and gravel. He finishes in a pose and gestures for you to give it your all.
This is no match for me. I have a +4 in performance. Watch and learn, boys. That's a 17. I hit him with my smoothest shuffle. Let's see if he can keep up with these moves.
Not bad, Kanor, but can you beat this?
Squibbo's busting it down, rambunctious style, with a Kazatsky kick. He gradually gets lower and starts clapping as well.
If he's going old school, then I'll go new school. 21. I'm hitting the gritty. Beat that, Squibbo.
What are we even watching at this point?
I don't know. But at least I'm not dying.
Incredible. Such marvelous technique. You've impressed me, Kanor, truly.
Dap me up, Squibbo.
Shall indeed dap you up, Lionel.
Squibbo and Lionel both have to make a performance check now in order to procure the quality of the handshake.
Natural 20. Let's go.
There is no way Squibbo also got a natural 20. Squibbo and Lionel both wind up, and their palms coordinate at just the perfect angle, the perfect time, the perfect weather conditions. All the stars are aligned and the molecules are just in place. Both palms connect and produce the most jaw-dropping, exquisite sound. It's as if a gunshot was heard.
Glorious, simply glorious. You have proven yourself in the art of the dance, and as such, I will allow your friend to live. Until we meet again, Lionel.
Farewell, Squibbo.
The squid man seemingly disappears into the shadows, but you hear faint footsteps of him running away.
What a great guy. I hope we meet him again.
For my own safety, I hope we don't. Anyways, why was this battle against the Mudskippers so easy?
I mean, I did kill half of the Mudskippers in one move, so they couldn't swarm us at all. We just had good rolls, I guess.
Then how about we continue forwards?
Sure, let's go.
The stench you felt before is growing stronger, and you now discover the source. The cave opens up with many dark stalactites, similar to a viper's jaw. Large pools of foul-smelling faded green liquids are settled in a shallow lake. There appears to be a rough climb upwards, in a sort of spiral staircase fashion.
I would like to roll to identify the green liquid. It might be poison.
Roll for nature.
Great, that's a dirty 20.
The smell and the color gives it away easily. This liquid is a strong base, meaning that it has violent chemical reactions with other objects which can dissolve flesh and corrode steel. Simply breathing in the vapors too hard could burn your lungs and nostrils.
This looks very potent. Could I possibly bottle it to save for later?
All right, but you'll have to make a sleight of hand check in order to not hurt yourself.
That's my first natural 20.
Basil flawlessly bottles the vile liquid, spilling not a single drop, making sure that it doesn't spill on accident. Throwing this at an enemy will apply 2d6 acid damage and lowers the AC of an enemy by 1d4 for a turn.
Perfect, I'll make sure to use this when the time comes. For now, I'll follow Lionel and Jackdaw to ascend this cave.
As you all traverse the rugged terrain, a feeling of anxiety grows as the terrain starts to feel less stable than before. Suddenly, you hear an awful scraping noise as Lionel missteps, losing his footing. Lionel, make an acrobatics saving throw.
Ah, shit. Why me? Is 13 enough?
As the rocks fall, you manage to grab the end of the cliff, which is still stable, just barely saving yourself from falling into the lake of acid.
That was real close, wasn't it?
Let me help you up, Lionel. I'll roll to pull Lionel up. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all.
Don't tell me.
Joe, did you get a nat one? Because if you did, then we're both fucked.
Yeah, sorry.
As Jackdaw attempts to help Lionel, the stones beneath him loosen as well, and they both start plummeting down into the lake of the foul solution.
We're not dying today. I activate my wind step talent to launch us upwards.
Whoa, I didn't expect you to remember that.
My memories might be hazy, but I ain't demented.
Jackdaw generates a small cloud beneath him and just barely launches himself and Lionel back to the cliff, but since they still have to land, they have to make an acrobatics save in order to touch down on the cliff without falling off again.
16.
Shit, that's a 6.
For the love of God, Joe. Can't you get a single good roll?
I must have used up all my good rolls last session.
As Jackdaw and Lionel both fly up, still holding their hands firmly together, the Atrian Vigil turns around and throws Lionel to the cliff, securing his landing as the gunslinger lands with thud. However, Jackdaw now finds himself in a free fall once more.
If I have anything to say about it, I run to Jackdaw to try to catch him. That's a 16 for me as well. I hope that saves him.
Basil runs and manages to catch Jackdaw by the arm before he plunges once more, dragging him securely back to the cliff.
Golly, that was way more stressful than it had to be.
Let's get the hell out of this cave before more rocks fall.
See, that's why you have to diet, Lionel. You're the only one who fell. And when I tried to save your fat ass, your weight made me fall down too.
I told you, Jackie. I'm bulking, I need the calories.
We said you could call me Jackie, you fool.
I grab both Lionel and Jackdaw by the ear, gonna move on. You dimwits. Or would you like me to leave you in the shit pit forever?
Ouch! I'll sue your ass if you hurt me again, dear boy. The summer company has great lawyers.
It sounds like you don't want any healing potions, then fine by me.
Okay, for legal reasons, that's a joke. Fine, let's stop arguing and get out of here.
As you finally make it out of the unpleasant cavern, the air quality shifts dramatically for the better. As you look up, you make out the canopy of several trees as the moonlight glows through serenely. This place seems to be embedded into the mountains as tall walls of rock block your exits. A bed of white flowers move calmly with the wind as their nectar glows in the faint light. For the first time in a while, you can fully breathe in and out.
Finally. Inner peace.
I wonder if there's anyone else here.
Beautiful. Now imagine a 12-lane freeway here. It would be perfect.
Please do not suggest anything ever again.
Clearly, you aren't a visionary like me.
In the middle of the respite, amongst the trees, there appears to be a small shrine, similar to a gazebo, made out of black rocks. There is a woman with wild hair and a ponytail, leaning against the wall of the shrine. Her complexion is a dim blue, with black markings on her face. Her clothes are well worn and practical, and as you approach, her amber-hued eyes lock onto you.
Fresh pathfinders, huh? Here to escape the horrors of this accursed land?
Honestly, it hasn't been too bad. Someone has attempted to rob and shank me a few times, but that's nothing special.
She chuckles.
I guess you newbies have only seen the tip of the iceberg.
The woman turns her gaze onto the ground.
It all happened too fast, and I couldn't stop it in time.
To stop what? What happened here?
I was trying to get back here before the Lord sent us into the void sea. I couldn't let him get away with what he was doing.
What was he trying to do?
The woman shudders and looks away from you.
He started killing the inhabitants, using his golems to drag them back to that thing. I tried to stop him. I wanted to.
But why? For what purpose?
I don't even know at this point. He always seemed so kind. He supported the whole island and provided food. His golems tended to crops and brought us all we needed. He protected us.
You said earlier you wanted to stop him, but why didn't you?
Because I was his personal pathfinder and scout. Then suddenly the golems started attacking the people. It all happened so fast. I tried to get some to safety, but they all fell behind and were carried off back to the Lord's manor. I failed to save a single soul.
I'm sorry for what happened. If we find any survivors, we can bring them to you for safety, right?
Certainly. It's the least I can do to protect these inhabitants from the cruel Lord.
Who is this Lord?
Lord Duke Ishamon Erisia, first of his name. He made himself famous by creating the first settlement here on this driftland. Of course, the island is named after him. His fall from grace was unexpected, to say the very least. He had an uncanny ability to summon stone golems from that weird bell he wore on his hip.
That's a very interesting ability. Do you know where he got that bell?
I honestly don't know. He always had it from the start and refused to tell us when we asked.
It's nice here and all, but how do we get out of here? The cave under us is sort of falling apart, so we'd like a different way out.
The Pathfinder points forwards.
There is an exit over there. Just make sure to block the entrance once you're out. I wouldn't like any nosy bandits to intrude here. I should warn you for walking carelessly around at night. Megalodons search for prey at night. Terrifying things, really. They didn't live here before the downfall of the Lord.
Hey, nothing we can't handle. Let's get to business.
How about a short rest to restore our mantras before we continue?
Yeah, I was going to ask the same thing.
Sure, let's relax for a bit.
You awake after your short rest, which was about half an hour long. The sky is now completely dark, and the moon is high up in the heavens.
Perfect. Now we can get to business for real this time. Hey, Mess Pathfinder, do you know what ore erythine is and where to find it?
Of course. There's a large amount of it in the garden reservoir. It's past the tower-struck lands. You'll have to go forwards and then right. I recommend getting to higher ground. You wouldn't want to get caught in the crossfire of the Authority skirmishes. Also, my name is Alaster. No need to call me Miss Pathfinder.
The Authority?
Yes. No need to be scared of them. The Summer Company is allied with them, so we'll be fine.
Yeah, but what is the Authority?
Can I explain without a roll again?
Go ahead.
The Central Authority is the most dominant faction in all of Lumen, and they've got bases almost everywhere. Their largest base is the Citadel of Markor in the Central Luminant. They keep the peace and fun projects for innovation. They're great guys. I love the Authority. I've got many friends who are from the Authority, and they're a frequent customer for us at Summer Isle. Frankly, they alone could keep us in business.
The Central Authority is a threat to Erisia and the Vigils. They're definitely not good guys, Ben.
I don't care for your silly Atrian politics. As long as we get our paychecks, we'll keep selling arms to them.
Your greed knows no bounds. One day, your material worth will mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. Knowledge is the only true currency in this world.
Can knowledge buy you a gun? No? Yeah, that's what I thought. Cry about it, you penniless hobo.
I thought we were going to progress. Do I have to grab you kids by the ears again?
No thanks. Let's just move again.
That's what I thought.
The group marches towards the block gate. The slab blocking the gate is loose, and all you have to do is to move it to the side. The stone slab looks quite sturdy. You're all going to have to work together in order to move it. Roll for athletics, everyone.
That's a 19 for me.
I got an 8.
That's an 11.
As everyone uses their combined force, you manage to get the large slab moving, and an opening is created. In front of you, you can see a small ravine and mountainous terrain connected by a rickety old bridge. Further ahead, there appears to be a cave opening, and to your right, there's a mountainous path, which looks a little unstable to say the least. You use your combined strength once more to seal the gate again.
I'm going to be honest, I don't like any of these options. Both Jackdaw and I almost died because of a rocky path, and more cave dwelling would drive me to insanity.
True. Since the dice gods haven't been very merciful to me today, I'll probably pick the cave route. What do you think, Basil?
I'll take whatever at this point. It's up to Lionel.
Cave path it is then. Let's hope it's not another ass clencher like the acid cave incident.
As you traverse the old bridge, a small bamboo forest shows itself. Inside of the forest, you see a bandit duking it out against a soldier in iron armor and a red cloak, wielding a mace. The untrained bandit appears to be getting their shit kicked in by the trained soldier. Just another day in Erisia.
I wonder which faction that soldier is fighting for, or perhaps it's just a well-equipped Pathfinder.
It's definitely not an Etrian soldier. Soldiers of Etria wear white armor.
Probably an Authority soldier. Aliea, or whatever she was called, said that they were skirmishing in this area. Godspeed to that soldier. Keep fucking those bandits up.
I might not like the Central Authority, but I can agree on this take. Also, her name was Alaster. Not that hard to remember.
You make your way over the bridge, further on to the next cave. As you peek into the cave, you notice that it isn't too dark and there's no need for a torch. Strange-looking corals are attached to the walls, which resemble barnacles growing in tight clusters. That same aloof noise of bones scraping against steel is heard once more.
Hey, looks like we'll finally find out what type of creature it is now.
I'm not too fired up for that one. If it can eat a man, then it can surely eat us.
Nah, couldn't be me. I'd win.
One day, you are going to get humbled so hard that you'll never be the same again.
Yeah, but that ain't today. Grow a pair, Jackdaw. We'll be fine.
You all step into the cave and begin treading forth. You make your way into a large hollow opening. You finally find the source of the sound. A large-looking creature, which resembles a shark with arms and legs, is lying on a bed of barnacles. 2 dead soldiers in white armor laid next to it, which have been gruesomely ripped apart and eaten. The shark creature is using one of the soldiers' longswords as a toothpick, cleaning and sharpening its already razor-sharp teeth.
No, those must have been Etrian soldiers.
Indeed, by the looks of their armor and weaponry, you recognize the mangled corpses as Etrian soldiers who've been caught and slaughtered by the beast. The beast now notices you walk into its domain, and it discards the longsword. This infamous creature is in fact a Megalodon, a creature which has found a comfortable niche in the ecosystem of Erisia, picking off foolish soldiers and pathfinders for food. The varmint stands up on both legs and rolls its powerful shoulders. It's easily over 15 feet tall. The bipedal monstrosity now fixes its gaze upon you, and its fearsome scales move in unison as it opens its mouth. You are to become its next meal. Roll for initiative.
21.
Crap baskets, that's a 6.
I rolled a 10.
The Megalodon rolled an 11. The battle order will go Lionel, Megalodon, Basil, and then Jackdaw.
I'll start off the fight by using a flare snap on the Megalodon. 18. That's got a hit, right?
Indeed it does. Lionel snaps his fingers and sends out a flash of light in a cone in front of him. The Megalodon goes to instinctively cover its eyes after being flashbanged, and now has disadvantage on attack rolls and -2 AC for 2 turns.
Perfect. Now I'll run up to its left side and set it on fire with my Produce Spark talent. Perfect. That's a 23. It's all going according to plan.
Ed, it would be great if you could tell us about your plan.
Wouldn't you like to know, dear boy? Of course I'll tell ya. First, I lower its AC with my mantra and set it on fire. On your turn, you should throw an acid potion on it and fuck up its AC even more, and try to share your bleed potion with Jackdaw. With that new talent, you got to deal extra damage on hit. After that, since its AC will be really low, we can burst it down with shit tons of DPS, and we have constant damage over time due to my fire.
Wait, what the fuck? Did you come up with this on your own? You must be hiding a teleprompter somewhere.
Basil, my boy, in this world, you are either a smart fella or a fart smeller. And let's just say I am the former rather than the latter.
It's now the Megalodon's turn. In its blind anger, it reels back its right leg and goes for a kick to launch Lionel into orbit. It missed due to disadvantage. The Megalodon kicks with fury, but misses completely as it can barely see anything. It also takes 3 damage from Lionel's burn. It's Basil's turn now.
I bring out my corrosive potion and lob it at the beast with all my strength.
Roll with athletics plus your class bonus.
16.
That lands. The hurled potion smashes against the Megalodon, and the liquid starts to bubble and chip away at its scales. The Megalodon grunts and tries to wipe off the liquid with its claws, but instead accidentally spreads it more. It takes 9 acid damage, and it loses 3 AC for a turn.
Awesome. Now I want to move to Jackdaw and activate my placebo effect talent and apply the lacerating potion onto my weapon as a bonus action.
As Basil pours the contents of the potion onto his greatsword, it glows with an ominous red, and so does Jackdaw's katana. Your weapons now deal an extra 1d4 bleed damage on hit until the battle ends.
Looks like my katana got upgraded into a high-frequency blade. And it's my turn now, too. I run to the right side of the Megalodon and give it a good slice. 17 to hit. 4 slashing damage and 2 bleed damage.
Jackdaw quickly runs and slashes the right leg of the beast, making it draw blood.
It's about time for me to flame repulse this bozo. All of you guys are outside of the 10-foot range, so no dexterity rolls needed for you guys.
The Megalodon got a 19 on its dex save, which escapes the flame repulsion.
Darn it.
As Lionel's body starts glowing an incandescent red, the Megalodon jumps diagonally right, flying over Jackdaw's head, landing with a mighty thump. It moves over to Jackdaw, ready to tear him to pieces. The attack lands, even with the disadvantage. It swings twice with its powerful claws, dealing 13 slashing damage to him. It suffers 3 more damage from Donald's burn. The monster uses its bonus action to let out a fearsome roar. Everyone roll a wisdom saving throw.
Ah, shit. A 3.
Oh no! A natural 1.
I add a 10.
The chilling roar makes Lionel shiver, and his hands are quaking. Jackdaw has been reduced to a quivering wreck. Lionel rolls with disadvantage on his next hit roll, and Jackdaw has his turn skipped completely. Basil manages to keep his wits about him, and it's now his turn.
This could go very wrong. If we get unlucky, I'll run and swing at it with my Zweihander to deal some quick damage. 18 to hit an 11 slashing damage plus 4 bleeding.
Basil charges the Megalodon with his greatsword and smashes his weapon into its chest, painting a wide scar of blood. The beast physically recoils from the damage, indicating that Basil's slash was very painful. Jackdaw's turn is skipped, as he is currently too terrified to fight, and the -3 AC debuff from Basil's flask is now gone.
Jackdaw was talking all that good shit, pretending to be wise. And the second a monster raises their voice a little, he shits his pants.
No comment.
The turn order is back to Lionel.
I'll shoot it with my flintlock, because that dumbass shark is stealing my strategy. I got a 14 with disadvantage. Does that hit?
It does, thanks to Flare Snap lowering the AC.
That's 8 damage, could have been better.
Lionel, even with his hands trembling, manages to fire his flintlock, and he hits the beast's leg, blowing a small chunk off. The Megalodon flinches and moves slightly back. Its formidable stare is now transformed into a sort of deranged display. It's no longer fighting just for food or territory, it's fighting for its life. The monster goes absolutely haywire, and attacks the first thing it can see, Basil.
Why do I always get attacked by crazy people? Last time it was the bandit leader.
The Megalodon sprints around to Basil's back, attempting to slash him. 17 to hit and 6 damage, and by using its special talent once below half HP, it can combo one of their successful hits into a kick once per fight, dealing 9 damage and launching you into the wall, making you take 4 blunt damage. The beast lands a devastating onslaught of attacks on the alchemist, which is now slumped against the wall, unconscious. He's going to have to make death saves. The Megalodon is now no longer affected by the flare snap.
Holy shit, it walked around me to make sure I would take extra blunt damage if his kick connected. This thing is a lot smarter than we give it credit for. I didn't even have time to use a potion.
Oh no, Basil. How dare you hurt him, you monster. I'll run towards the Megalodon and slash it. 16 to hit, 6 slashing damage and 4 bleed damage. I use some of my movement after that to move back to where I was, and I throw my Gale Trap in front of it as a bonus action.
Jackdaw dashes forwards and rends the Megalodon's leg once more, drawing more blood. Its knees are growing weak as blood starts to spray out from the wounds. The Vigil Warrior steps back with his explosive footwork, much to the beast's disdain.
I'll use my last spell slot in order to flare snap it again. Come on, dice gods. Damn it. That's a 10.
Seeing Lionel about to snap his fingers, it recognizes the move and covers its eyes before the light appears, rendering it useless.
This isn't good at all.
The Megalodon walks towards Lionel, and Jackdaw goes on all fours with its rear high up in the air.
Is it doing the goddamn Jacko pose from Guilty Gear?
The creature's barnacle filled back is exposed, and the mouths of the barnacles open, sending out a barrage of tiny projectiles at both of them in a 10-foot radius.
Oh shit!
The attack misses Jackdaw as he deflects the projectiles coming at him with his reflexes. However, it manages to bypass Donald's AC, dealing 13 piercing damage. However, when it stepped forwards, it triggered Joe's Gale Trap, making it take 5 slashing damage. It also takes 2 damage from Lionel's burn, which has now subsided.
Shit, it better not keep up like this.
I shout to Lionel, we have to hurry. Basil is dying. I cast my Windblade mantra at the monster. Dirty 20 to hit, and 9 slashing damage.
Jackdaw focuses and sheathes his weapon, and then unsheathes, sending out his signature green-tinted slash. The mantra carves its way into the face of the beast, and the Megalodon seems to be on the verge of death.
No time to waste. I shoot it with my flintlock. 18 to hit and 9 damage too.
Lionel's bullet penetrates the beast. Its eyes close as it drops dead on the floor.
I don't get to describe how I kill it? Jackdaw, can you see if it's actually dead?
There's no time for that, Lionel. I need to help Basil wake up, or he might die. I run over to Basil to help him up.
Who said that the fight was over? The Megalodon jolts awake with its last reserves of energy and slashes with full force at Jackdaw.
Oh no!
I fucking knew it.
I'll use my wind step as a reaction to dodge the hit.
Make a contested dexterity saving throw.
That's an 11 for me, yikes.
The Megalodon rolled a natural 20, which means you automatically fail. The calculations for the hit will proceed.
Crap baskets.
Dirty 20 to hit, and it deals 8 slashing damage. Jackdaw reacts too slowly as the beast gashes through his armor, which knocks him unconscious. The Megalodon uses its bonus action to let out a fearsome roar, or in this case, a victory cry. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Son of a bitch, no, it's a natural one. We're all fucking dead.
Lionel freezes up in shock from the roar as he can't stop shaking. The Kenorian gunslinger is about to meet his end, along with his party. He sees the half-dead Megalodon make its way over to him, practically smiling with joy. The beast raises its foot, ready to curb stomp the life out of Lionel. The Canor closes his eyes, finding peace in his final moments.
I'm sorry, Rosen, I failed you.
The sound of cracking bones echo throughout the arena. However, Lionel finds himself still intact. He opens his eyes and observes Squibbo folding the Megalodon's spine in half with a calamitous dropkick, which seemingly generated a shockwave.
Deep sea dropkick.
The Megalodon is launched with such incredible force that he is flung towards the wall, and all its bones simultaneously break, turning it into a useless sack of flesh. The fight is now finally over.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Oh my god, bro. Dap me up.
First one to enter the fight and last one to go down. The qualities of a true leader. I heard you fight that thing, so I decided to come and watch. They're pretty tricky, huh?
Thank you, but you really have to help me. My 2 other friends got knocked unconscious by it. We have to get them back up before they die.
Easily done.
Squibbo quickly runs over to Jackdaw. His fist glows a light pink and gives the samurai a slap across the face.
Wakey, wakey, dunce.
He runs over to Basil and does the same thing to the deer-horned alchemist.
Crafty and Bonehead.
Jackdaw and Basil both wake up confused and in mild pain of being slapped. They're both surviving on 1 HP.
Huh? Why, ouch, why does my face hurt?
I think the octopus man resuscitated us.
Wow, and not even a single thank you. Why do I even bother?
Jackie, dear boy, say thanks to Squibbo. He saved us.
Thank you, Squibbo.
Much better. I think you all need to become smarter when it comes to fighting. I did like your strategy, but you seem to forget that not all beasts are brutes. They utilize their own tactics to win, and most importantly, they take advantage of their surroundings, something which you didn't.
Wait, what could we have used in this place in order to win?
Squibbo points upwards at a large, unstable stalactite.
Every single one of you possess ranged abilities to loosen the stalactite and impale the beast. Yet no one thought of analyzing the surroundings before engaging in the fight.
Oh shit, he's right. Jackdaw could have made a perception before the fight. And I could have done an investigation check too.
You appear to learn fast. If it weren't for me, this fight would have ended as a loss. Remember this moment and learn to improve.
Will you travel with us?
Unfortunately, my pact with the depths requires me to return to the ocean before sunrise. I will not be able to return until a month has passed. You will be on your own from now.
I understand, Squibbo. I will be forever grateful for what you've done for us today.
Same to you, Lionel. But now the deep is calling.
A whirlpool of darkness envelops Squibbo as he seemingly phases through the ground and into the abyss.
We all have to take a long rest. That fight was really tough.
Jackdaw, you moron. You could have ended the fight by just stabbing it or windblading when it pretended to be dead. It was probably one shot.
You know what? You're right.
Huh?
Yeah, it actually was my fault. I admit to my mistake.
I didn't expect you to admit it, damn. I'm sorry for calling you a moron, too. You were just thinking of Basil's well-being.
How cute. They're friends again.
Don't push your luck, Betty boy.
Yeah, this is a one-time thing. Don't ruin it.
Fine. Then let us end this on a long rest. We certainly need it.
Then let's conclude this episode. This session ended up being a bit lengthier than the last one, with a lot more happening. I am so very grateful for the huge amounts of support I've received on session 1, and I'm very excited about turning this into a series. As usual, fellow viewers, have a good day or night, and stay tuned for the next episode.